So there we go. That's better, isn't it? Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Stretford Post. How you doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Yes, it is Breaking Dawn, guys. There you go, guys. It wasn't quite an explosion yesterday, was it? It was a terrible result yesterday. You know what I mean? Very, very disappointing result for Manchester United yesterday. But you know what? I'm going to take the positives out of the result, guys. It wasn't the best result in the world. We know that, losing 2-0 to Arsenal. But I take the first half. I look at that first half and I saw a style. I saw a style of play. I saw an effort, a collective unit. Bruno wasn't giving away the ball. Players were playing for each other. It was a good first half display. And to be honest with you, Arsenal looked concerned in that first half. They looked a little bit concerned as to what was going to happen. But in the second half, the same old habits happened. The same old issues occurred. And you know what? We deservedly lost the game in the end. But you know what? I am going to take the positives. And I'm not going to slate everything. I did say yesterday, if we lose the game, I'm not going to overreact. As if we won the game, I'm not going to overreact. But one thing I would say is this, right? Manchester United have a lot of work to do, right? And we know that. Ruben Amorim knew that. It sort of hit home for Ruben Amorim yesterday that some of those players are just not up for the task. And we've been seeing this for the last 10 years, haven't we? Regardless of what you make of the changes did change the game. They did impact the game in a negative way in the second half. Unfortunately, they were creating so much space, Arsenal, on our left, our right-hand side and Arsenal's left. They were creating a lot of chances from that position. And we ended up, conceding, from corners. And I said it during the game is that, Arsenal's biggest threat is their corners. And we seem to give away corners like candy yesterday. We loved it. We loved giving away corners, even though every single time they were crossing a ball into the box, they almost scored. They could have scored 5 goals from a corner. Do you know what I mean? And they almost scored. And yet we still made the silly mistakes. In particular, the mistake from Marcus Rashford that led to the corner. Look, you know what? That's not just the only thing, right? Mistakes can happen during games. Human beings make mistakes. But I'm looking at the overall picture, the overall performance of that game, of course, guys. And I was disappointed in the second half. And a number of those players, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, who else was on that pitch who didn't perform? The senior pros I'm talking about here, guys. The senior pros of Dalot didn't perform. The ones who've been there for many, many years. Dalot again, flattered to deceive. What's going on with Diego Dalot, guys? I don't know. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and smash a like on the video. Let's read through some of your comments real quickly. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, brother? Back to life, back to reality. Absolutely. Brian, can't see us winning any of the big games coming up. At the moment, Brian, it looks a bit bleak. The only positive shining light, the silver lining in regards to the future games is that we'll have more practice in regards to the tactics that Ruben Amorim is implementing. Hopefully, Ruben Amorim will see the bad eggs for what they are, that we know who they are. He will see the bad eggs and they will be removed from the team. Hopefully, by the time we play, let's say, Man City or we play Tottenham away in the cup, by the time we play those games, we will be ready. Ruben Amorim said yesterday, we do have Arsenal in the cup, of course. We have them in the FA Cup at the Emirates. Again, he did say yesterday that we'll be practicing the corners. Part of me feels like, what, we should have known that. I did speak about the corners, Arsenal's set-piece threat a couple of days ago, about the way they keep scoring corners. I think they've got some kind of record when it comes to corners, of course, guys. Absolutely. I wouldn't say terrible. Some of the players I wouldn't start. The only way it beat us was because of corners. That's it. It was terrible, mate. Arsenal deserved to win the game. They dominated the game possession-wise. In the second half, we were terrible. It was terrible in the second half. We were delusional to think otherwise. Arsenal kept the ball comfortable, easy. But we created nothing in the first half. Yeah, we created nothing, but we were more in control. I know what you mean, Brian, but we were more in control in the first half. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really see anything apart from set pieces from Arsenal that I would say was a threat. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it was a threat. But in the second half, we were atrocious and we were terrible. Arsenal were getting in pockets of space. Arsenal were aiming for corners. They were actually aiming to get corners in there, of course, guys. Absolutely. They had a chance, but nothing happened. Yeah. Absolutely. A lot of those players had a lot of had their 1 millionth chance at Man United, of course. Arsenal at corner swam the area. Why can't we put a wall in there? That comes from leadership, Brian. You know, and people say don't criticize Onana, but you know, I'm a guy from the era of Peter Schmeichel, from Raymond van der Sar, well, not Raymond van der Sar, obviously Edwin van der Sar, of course. That's Raymond van der Hal. But Edwin van der Sar, of course, guys. I'm from that era. I want my goalkeeper to dominate, push players out, push them out like that, get them out, and then catch the ball. You know, Onana didn't do bad. It's not just his fault. I don't like zonal marking. I do not like zonal marking. I've never liked zonal marking. In particular, a team like Arsenal, who are just going to invade that space. They're going to invade that space and end up, as we saw what ended up, they could have scored 5 goals on corners. Let's be real. They were swinging it in there all day long. Like a pinpoint, Declan Rice kept swinging it in there, of course. Thoughts on Mount, he was washed. A lot of running. Vipo, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. A lot of running, no production. That's the thing. And that's my fear with Mason Mount. A lot of running, no production. You know what I mean? It's a bit like having a film without the cameras. You know what I mean? No production. You know what I mean? And he had a lot of running, but no creative input. At the end of the day, I would say though, and I would say this very, very, very concerningly, is my fears on Bruno Fernandes. I just don't think he's that guy. I don't. I mean, how many times do we have to play Fernandes hoping he's going to do something special? Hoping what he might get that bit of spark. Do you know what I mean? In that spot, hoping. You know what I mean? We can't hope. You know what I mean? We need a more constructive way of playing. If we're going to play Bruno Fernandes, you play him as a number 10 or we don't play him at all. It's as simple as that. He's not that number 8, guys. He doesn't have the running ability, the tracking back, the tackling, the defensive work. He's not that guy. He's not that guy, in my opinion. JCF, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I have confidence in Emery. We'll know he has the big job to get tune out of the likes of Rashford, Onana, Dalot, or get rid. I think hopefully by the end of the season, JCF, a lot of those players will be gone at the football club. I really feel that a lot of those players. I mean, I don't like the fact that Dalot started. I don't think Dalot has been. I think Dalot's been probably our most disappointing player this season, and I don't think he should start games. But obviously, we had injuries, so obviously we had to play him yesterday, and another disappointing performance. And he played on his right side. He played on his favourite side, didn't he? Yesterday, and he didn't perform. Very disappointing. Absolutely. Good morning, Mr. Sal. Good morning, Chi-Chi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Sanjay, good to see you, Sanj. I hope you're doing well. United played a lot of good football, but not just that. The ball wasn't smashed properly to the net. Yeah, am I back? Man United played a lot of good football in the first half. In the second half, Man United were dreadful, terrible, and gave away the ball too easily, created spaces on the flanks for Arsenal to exploit, gave away too many simple corners, didn't create anything apart from the De Ligt header, of course, a fantastic save. That was the only thing we created in that whole game. And obviously at the end with Anthony missed the chance, ridiculously. To be honest with you, look, you know, we're in an educational period at the moment in regards to Man United going forward. We're in like a trial period, an audition, so to speak, for Man United for a lot of those players. So as Ruben Amorim said, we're going to feel a lot of pain. We're going to be frustrated. We're going to feel a lot of pain before it can get better. And maybe this is a blessing in disguise because, you know what, it is a harsh reality. You know what I mean? And Man United needs a wake-up call. Ruben Amorim needs a wake-up call for a lot of those players. And we've already had that wake-up call a very long time in regards to a lot of those players. We know about those players. We know about their down tooling. I mean, I've seen Rashford walking on the pitch again yesterday. I've seen him pulling off Saliba a couple of times and not doing anything, you know, in regards to the press. I've seen too much of that now. I've seen too much laziness at Man United from some of those players, supposedly are the senior players. Now, people are going to say, oh, but Garnacho played badly. Oh, you know what? He played bad. He didn't. I mean, in the first half, he was relatively okay. You know what? He done his job. He ran the flanks. We were fairly solid in the first half. It's when those players went off, we went absolutely pear-shaped, to be honest with you. I don't know. Ahmad was fantastic when he came on, although I would say when he was playing on that right wing back, Arsenal were creating a lot of space down off that flank. Down that flank, they were creating a lot of space down that flank, and Ahmad was not tracking back as he was in the last couple of games. But he did play. He was our best attacker. He was our best attacker. So now what needs to happen is that Ruben Amorim needs to pick his best team now. Start thinking about what is your best team, right? But the problem I'm having right now, the issue I'm having, the biggest conundrum I'm having is that are some of those players undroppable? Are they undroppable? Is Bruno Fernandes undroppable? Is Dalot undroppable? You know, this is what I'm saying. And this is why I spoke earlier a couple of days ago in regards to the Portuguese influence. Can some of these players be dropped? I really hope so, because they're not performing. And in particular, Dalot and Bruno have been absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. And you know what? That has to be pointed out. I mean, how many times we're praying and hoping that Bruno has a good game. We're saying, please, Bruno, this is your time. This is your game, of course. We hope, of course. Uchichi, Onana has the right to push players off his line. He was so reluctant leaving the players on the lines. Onana should learn from the set piece upset Arsenal ran it. Absolutely, Uchichi Gloria, great comment, because at the end of the day, when you're a goalkeeper, you're meant to be an authoritarian. You're meant to show authority in the box. Push those players out like that. Push them out. Budge them. Show your presence. Don't just stand on your line and let it curl in there, because all it takes is a flick of someone's head and it's a goal. We could have conceded 5 goals yesterday from corner kicks. It was crazy at the end of the day. You know, in that second half, it was awful. Agree on Fernandes. Dalot has no brain. Onana had non-existent at corners and practically gave them a goal with his distribution in the first half. The first goal, look, JCF, the first goal, right? We were giving away a lot of space on that right, on our right-hand side, right? Arsenal's left. So we were giving away a lot of space there. Before the goal happened, I said, we're giving a lot of space on that side. We need to sharp up on that side. And lo and behold, the ball went over the top. Arsenal won a corner and it led to the first goal, you know? And these are the fine margins that we need to understand in football, that, you know, if you make these small errors, if you do not track back, you know, you're liable for punishment against a team like Arsenal. Now, I look at Arsenal and I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't see anything special. No, I didn't. And Man United are fairly comfortable in the first half. The crowd were getting upset at the end of the day. I felt like it reminded me of the games under Sir Alex Ferguson. And people who watch Man United from the 90s, the early 2000s and stuff, would understand what I mean. Is that when Alex Ferguson used to go to Highbury, when he used to go to the Emirates, we used to play that type of style where we would sit back, you know, compact, you know, won't create much, but when the chance came, bang, bang, goal, goal, and we will finish off Arsenal. And that's what we used to do. That could have happened. That could have happened if we were a bit more tight, but we went into our old ways, our bad habits during that game, which was disappointing. I was disappointed. The fact that we went into our show again, of course. So, Chichi, United is learning step by step. Now United need to start working on how to keep offset pieces in the box. And Man United need to learn how to take set pieces as well. When are we going to score a free kick or a call from a corner, guys? Come on, we're not scoring enough goals. Good morning, pal. How you doing? I hope you're good. The second half of the match, definitely not a hallmark of a Ruben Amorim side. Definitely not. Absolutely, pal. Spot on. Not the hallmark of a Ruben Amorim side. But one thing, I'll take the positives. I take the silver lining, as I said. I take the things I saw that I felt that we can go forward. Now, it's going to be easier to think, you know what I mean, pick the people who can't play, who shouldn't play, than the players who should play at the moment. At the moment, I feel like the midfield is Mainu and Ugarte, and it shouldn't move away from that. Nah, it shouldn't move away from that. I'm now thinking that maybe Bruno shouldn't be playing, you know, but is he undroppable? And that is the problem I'm having now. And that is that's what's playing over and over in my mind. That's great that, you know what, we can say that Bruno shouldn't be playing, but is he undroppable? Is he not going to be dropped because he's the captain? You know what I mean? And I'm beginning to worry, to be honest with you, because I don't think he's doing enough in the Man United shirt, if I'm being honest. Defo, wake up call. Really not so surprised. Onwards and upwards. A Biggie v Forest on Saturday. Come on, United. JCF, love the comment, brother. Love the comment. Really love the comment, because we have got Nottingham Forest at the weekend. And the great thing about football, it's the next game, isn't it? It's about looking forward. And it's done. It's done. We lost to Arsenal. It's done. I don't like losing to Arsenal. I had to go in hiding last night. Thank God the game kicked off at midnight for me, because then I just went straight to bed. I didn't have to be introduced to all the Arsenal fans yapping and yawing. So basically, I missed that. That was great. When I was in London, obviously, I would have been reading through that, getting my blood pressure, my anxiety up, of course, guys. So, you know what? That was a good thing in regards to that. I was happy that, you know what, I didn't have to face the Arsenal fans. And those who know, Arsenal fans are the worst fans. The worst fans. Believe it. If you're from London, you know Arsenal fans are the worst fans, especially when they beat Man United. No, I mean, when the shot pass gifted them a goal, fortunately, it was given offside. Yeah. That was a warning. That was a warning, mate. And it was in the opening minute, wasn't it? That was a warning that, you know, giving away the ball ridiculously from the kick from Onana, gave the ball straight to the player, and you know what? Fortunately, he was offside. You know, and that should have stood as a warning. We were a little bit careless at times with our passing, giving the ball away again. I noticed, but one thing I liked is that we had a shape to us. We had a shape in the first half. Unfortunately, that shape broke in the second half, like a bloody tower bricks, bang. And you know what I mean? And Man United started giving them spaces, giving them chances and stuff. One thing I would say, though, Arsenal didn't have many clear-cut chances until they were ahead and we had to go forward. They didn't have any real clear-cut chances. Their only chances came from the corners. I mean, in open play, their only chances came from the corners. And every time they swing a corner in, they seem to have a chance. Kenny, Man United players need to wake up. Absolutely, bruv. Absolutely. Sell Rashford, yet again, non-existent, and Ghana needs to hold the bench, just frustrated with the decision-making. I would say in regards to Garnacho, I thought he done okay yesterday. I thought he done okay. He ran the lines. He kept Arsenal busy. If you know his off-ball work was a lot better. It's the players like Garnacho and Rashford I don't agree with. I don't like playing every single game. I don't agree with that because those players are the ones that are the experienced players. They're the ones who played for Man United for 5 to 10 years. Yes, we can tell Garnacho can hold the bench, and that's sure, but Garnacho is our future. You know what I mean? And if I feel now at this period in time that we have to sell one, and that player should be Marcus Rashford for me. I think we should sell him, get the money from him, move on from him, and that's it. That's what we should do, in my opinion. Of course. Shout out to the Delit. He did a massive job on defense. United defend. He's a no-worry defense. Absolutely shout out to Delit. Absolutely fantastic. Cabo's view. I don't know what we were expecting. We beat Everton, Boulder Glimt, and Jurovic. None are particularly great sides. So it's expected. And a reminder of who we are now and where we need to be. You know what, Cabo's view? You make a good point because it is a reminder where we need to be. And it is a reminder that we don't need reminding. I don't need reminding that those players are not good enough. But every single game, I want Man United to win. I'm giddy. I'm happy. I'm enthusiastic. Deep down in my soul, I don't think Man United are going to win the game yesterday. And the reason is because of what I saw yesterday. We got too many passengers in our team. We got too many players who walk around the pitch. We got too many players who don't like to press. Maybe they press for the first couple of games. You know what, Man United, you know what they're waiting for, don't you? Man United, some of those Man United players are waiting for Nottingham Forest at home. So they can stack pad and bag another couple of goals. And then there you go. I told you he's good. I told you Rashford's cooking. But when it gets to the games that we really need him, Bruno, Rashford, those two players, they're nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be seen, are they? Good morning, Malo. Mona, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. Hope you're good. Salah is a good and not good enough. Rashford didn't do anything. We didn't look at the moment that we would win. Absolutely, Mona. And respect to you for bringing up the two most important players there that I want to talk about because I'm not going to bring in the young players. I'm going to bring in those players who've been there for years. Those players like Dalot. Those players like Rashford. Those players like Bruno. Those are the players that I expect more from. They were absolutely rubbish. Right, and in the first half, then nothing came down that right side. Nothing, absolutely nothing. There was nothing in the way of creativity, forward runs, overlapping runs. There was nothing from Dalot. It all came from Malacia. It all came from Malacia. Malacia was the guy who was doing it every time. To the left, to the left, to the left. Every time, of course. Lenny Yoro is a beast. Yeah, what a brilliant cameo from Lenny Yoro, by the way. Absolutely brilliant, of course. Brilliant. Guys, Ted, good morning, sir. How you doing, mate? How you doing, Teddy? How you doing, Finn? How you feeling, mate? I'm all right, mate. You know what? I'm disappointed, but I'm going to try and take the positive as much as I can out of the football match. Don't like losing. We're Manchester United. As Delict said, Matthias Delict said yesterday at the interview, we're Manchester United, we shouldn't lose. And I feel that. I know that some people say, oh, it's realistic, it's this and that, but Delict said it. We're Manchester United. We shouldn't be losing the game. We lost the game. We shouldn't be trying to bring silver linings and positives. But we have no choice, unfortunately, to do that. And we know that a lot of those players are not good enough. De Ligt probably doesn't know. He will know in a few months that a lot of these players love to down tool, of course. Corner FC, Tony Pulis FC, of course. Tony Pulis. Let me get into this, guys. If I want to get into the player ratings, if you don't mind. Here we go. My ratings for the game, guys. Here we go. Basically, that's my player ratings for the game. Not that it really matters, but you know what? I thought that Maguire had a steady game. Not great, not perfect, but some of his passing was fantastic. I give him a 5.6. De Ligt was fantastic, 6.6. Masri again, brilliant, 6.4. I'm not giving these players an over the top because we lost the game. We conceded 2 goals. So and at the back, defensively, we weren't great. So for corners and set pieces, and that's what I was disappointed with. Oh no, I got a 5.5. Look, an average score. That's an average for me. And the thing is that he didn't command his area. He didn't command his area, and I hoped for better from Undone in regards to that. He stays on his line too much. If he's going to practice anything, he needs to learn to come off his line a little bit more. In regards to the right wing back, Dalot, disappointing again, 5.2, really disappointing. Nothing came from that side in the first half, absolutely not. In regards to Ugarte, 6.2, he got for me brilliant. Ugarte was one of our better players yesterday, one of the better players. Bruno Fernandes, 5.1. Poor for our captain. When you think about he's our captain, it was poor, in my opinion. Very poor. In regards to Malacia, I thought he did okay. I mean, he hasn't played for a long time, guys. You've got to remember that. I give him a 6 because he hasn't played for a long time. And for him to come in and bombing up and down that wing, and Arsenal got nothing from that side in the first half. So I felt I did okay. In regards to Mason Mount, 5.2. Pressed, nothing special. Done a lot of running, but no creativity. Number 7, I expect more. Our number 7, I expect more. We know what the number 7 should be doing at the end of the day, which is creating. In regards to Garnacho, I'll give him a 5.7. Done a lot of running, pulled defenders away, kept the Arsenal defense busy, of course, and that was good. If you watch the game, he was doing a lot of running and a lot of pulling Arsenal players out of position, which helped us in our formational play, of course, guys. Rasmus, no service, absolutely 0 service, held up the ball okay, but a 5.3. No service at all, absolutely nothing. Definitely, it's like sitting in a restaurant and getting no service. He had no service at all, Højlund, and so I would give him a 5.3. Didn't really do much in the game, of course. When we think about the substitutions, guys, I'm giving an Armadillo a 6. Did well when he came on. Of course, didn't have long, but a 6, which is one of our better players. Rashford, a 4.6. Very, very poor again from Rashford. Xerxes, poor, 4.6. Didn't do much when he came on. Slow pedestrian. Again, brilliant from Lenny Euro. A great cameo, of course. I give him a 6. Anthony, a 5.5. An average 5.5 when he came on. Didn't really do anything good. Didn't really do anything bad. But it was an average scoreline for me, in my opinion. But you know what? Ahmad, fantastic again. In regards to the manager, I give him a 6. Ruben Amorim gets a 6 for me and for that game, simply because obviously we lost the game 2-0. I mean, we can't blame him for that, but it's obviously we can't give him a high score if we lose the game. And obviously the substitutions in the second half didn't work. The tactics didn't work, of course, as well. Of course. In regards to my man of the match is De Ligt. He was my man of the match. Very, very solid yesterday. Brilliant. It was between obviously Ahmad and Ugarte were my man of the match, but I'm going for De Ligt, guys. But you know what? You guys can disagree with it. You're perfectly entitled to. That is what I'm going with, of course, guys. But I put my ratings through my Facebook group, and everyone votes for it, and the WhatsApp groups and everything, and people vote for it. And these are the man. This is the man of the match that we've come up with. Yeah. At the end of the day, it was slim pickings. Very, very high. Low fruit, very low fruit to pick, of course, guys. But you know what? It is what it is at the end of the day, of course, guys. It is what it is, of course. Uchichi, please, Rashford is sharp on the attack. Please cut off his pace. Højlund tried anyways. He tried. Rashford needs to do a lot better. Malacia's confident. It's not yet 70% for me. He was scared to make runs as a passing per back. Ugarte was good and solid. Brilliant from Ugarte again. Malacia, I give him a lot of credit for coming in the team late, like you know what I mean, unexpectedly for a lot of us. Malacia coming into the team and doing what he did was unexpected, of course. OTD, United shouldn't be losing. That is a realistic truth. Absolutely agree. I mean, I agree with what Delic said at full time. I agree with exactly what he said. He said, when Manchester United, we shouldn't be losing and we shouldn't be finding positives out of losing. That is a telling quote. We shouldn't be finding positives out of losing. There's no positives out of losing. We just learn who the bad apples are. That is all it is at the end of the day. Big up, Fan. How you doing, my brother? Hope you're good. Good to see you back, mate. Hope you're good, mate. Big up, everyone, of course. Big up, Fan. Fan, Deborah, good morning to you. Big up, Brian. Big up, everyone, of course, guys. Fan, is it just me or notice that if Murray ain't playing or is kept in check by the opposition, United struggles? I think he was playing out of position, Fan. I don't think that's his favourite position. I would have played him right wing back. The next game, I'll play him right wing back. If we don't have anyone, I'll play Ahmad as that number 10. Because I think Ahmad's wasted there. He's our most creative player, guys. We're going to have to admit he's silky on the ball. You know, every time Ahmad gets the ball, something happens. I think he should be playing further up the field. And I think Mazaruri should play on that right wing back. And we bring on Leach, De Ligt and Maguire for that game against Nottingham Forest and play, obviously, who are we going to play on the left? Dalot on the left again. And that's it. And hopefully Dalot has a good game this time. You know what I mean? He's had a poor game again yesterday. Big up. How are you? Big up everyone, of course. Big up. Rasmus didn't play well at all. He was always holding the ball too much without building a counter-attack play. I mean, he didn't have no service, Uchichi. No service at all. Nothing at all. You can't say Rasmus played badly. You can't, because he had no service to play badly. For me, he held up the ball well, and we played well in the first half. And we actually crumbled when he came off the pitch, didn't we? To be honest with ourselves. Why do we feel aggrieved? Why do we feel aggrieved that our Tata coach, that's what coaches are required to win? Is a win, Fan. They worked on their strengths, and that's what they got. As far as I'm concerned, it's corners. You score from a corner, it's a goal. It doesn't matter if you score from 30 yards or 10 yards. You know what I mean? It's a goal, even if it's a corner. Alex, Man United, right? Man United were masters at set pieces under Sir Alex Ferguson. Masters at it. We won so many games on set pieces, guys. Corner kicks. We won a Champions League on corner kick, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's part of the game. And if you can't defend it, you get punished. We couldn't defend it. We had warning signs throughout the game. When Arsenal were having all those corners, we had warning signs, but we didn't take the warning signs, did we? And that was disappointing for me. That was what the most disappointing thing was for me. I hope Abraham doesn't lose his hair. He looked a little bit, I mean, worse for wear yesterday after the game, more than he's done in the last 3 weeks. He looked all happy and that he's going to lose that smell very quickly, of course, guys, very quickly. It's really another journey, and the middle of the end, we can see the difference Amaran is making. We know it's going to be difficult, but hating on individuals won't improve the team's performance. Hating is a very snowflake word, Ian. I would say that. It is called constructive criticism. You're allowed to criticize players. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of players here that we're criticizing, not just one. So far, it's Bruno, Rashford, Dalot. We've been talking about quite intensively. It's not an individual thing. It's a collective. Of course, players didn't play well, especially in the second half. Substitutions didn't work. But you know what? When we talk about football, we have constructive opinions. If we talk about rainbows and flowers and unicorns and My Little Ponies and teddy bears, we don't get anywhere. You know what I mean? We got to be ruthless, and we got to spot out the mistakes and spot the players who are not performing when we see them. And that's what we do. At the moment, it's not just an individual, but it's a bunch of individuals that need to be looked at themselves. You know what I mean? What's the point of being a fan if you don't have an opinion about a bunch of players? You know what I mean? Absolutely. Guys, Uchichi, Ruben is a born winner. You need to see his reactions on the top. I did. Ruben will make to really take United to the top for me. He needs time and support. Absolutely, he needs time. And that is the most important thing. And I'm glad that last night we saw a number of problems within the game that Ruben Amorim will pick up on and hopefully will change. Because at the end of the day, we've seen 10 years of this, and this is no more, we're no more honeymoon period, guys. Forget this honeymoon period. We need now to win football matches. And those players need to take accountability because they've sacked 5 managers, guys. Right? So I'm not going to be soft on those players. Absolutely not. No, I want to be complimentary to the players that deserve to be complimented to by. De Ligt, brilliant. Onana did good. De Ligt, brilliant. Ugarte, brilliant. Ahmad, brilliant. Those 4 players, right? Those 4 players right there, brilliant. Euro, brilliant when he came on. 5 players right there did fantastic. The rest of them, flattered to deceive, of course, guys. Flattered to deceive. Malacia was better defensively, but lack a bit of confidence in terms of making overlapping runs. Yeah, that comes with match fitness, Kenny, and obviously he needs time. Yeah, he's been out for a year, over a year. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm not going to lay into Tyra Malacia too much in regards to his track backing, but we looked more solid in the first half. When he came off, we were wide open on that side, wide open, and Arsenal kept attacking down that side for a purpose. You know, what we should learn is that United had a great weakness in set pieces. Yes, Arteta exposed it, and now Amram has a chance to fix the cost of the loss. I will take it and do better for the effort. Absolutely, Irfan. You saw the interview, brother. You saw the interview, and you saw that he knows, he sees the weaknesses. And he said, when we play Arsenal next, we're going to improve the set pieces, the corners, of course. But Man United have had this problem for years, and it's not going to take a few training sessions to fix it. It's going to take a while to fix it. Arsenal are well ahead in their development. They've been working on that probably for years now under Arteta. We've just come. Look, at the end of the day, I was disappointed that we played Arsenal yesterday, but at the same time, I was happy that he could see the problems within the team. You know, I would rather play Arsenal in a few weeks, so to speak. You know what I mean? But obviously, it is what it is. We played Arsenal yesterday. We saw the weaknesses, and we have to change those weaknesses. We've only got a handful of players that, you know what, I thought, wow, we're brilliant. And Mazraoui as well. Sorry, guys, Mazraoui. So I'm talking about 6 players now. 6 players in that team. For me, I'm going to say, who are the players are the mainstays? Who are the players that you feel should be staying at Manchester United? Should be the first team, should be the first names on the team sheet. At the moment, I'm going to tell you right now, the first names on the team sheet, right? Mazraoui, all day long. Fantastic again, right? De Ligt, all day long, right? Leacher needs to come in there, right? Or Euro. Then we got Ugarte, all day long, right? Needs to start. Mainu needs to start in that midfield. Has to start in that midfield. 100% has to start in that midfield. So we got 5 players there, okay? That should start, in my opinion. And Ahmad, 6. So Ahmad, 6 players there. I feel that I've been brilliant this season. I've been fantastic this season. Many of the other players have not performed, and that is a fact, right? And you know, at the end of the day, no, I mean, that is a half a team. Half a team hasn't performed to the capabilities. Good to see, obviously, Kalungi on the bench yesterday, the 16-year-old on the bench. Really happy to see him on the bench yesterday. You know what that means? Hopefully soon he will get some appearances, maybe in the FA Cup, maybe. Obviously, we got Arsenal, so we can't. I mean, it would have been nice if we played bloody Tamworth or Salford like the other teams, but we got Arsenal away. So obviously, we can't really experiment, can we, against Arsenal away? But it's good to see Kalungi get some minutes, some here and there in a couple of games, of course, in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes and stuff, and see what he's made of. He does look a package, of course. Uchechi, Amas chance should be now. Please, Ruben Amaram should take. I've been saying that for many months, as you know, Gloria, my friend. Take that the guy Amas can play in this Manchester United team and fit in well. Please, Amas should be given a job. I think he should be drifted into the team, drafted into their team slowly. I've been saying it for a long, long time. Harry Amas needs to play some minutes. And now it looks like it's getting late for him to play because we can't just play him in the league now because we're in a bit of a position where we can't drop any more points. If we're beating Nottingham Forest or at the weekend comfortably, then maybe we should give Harry Amas about 10 minutes, 15 minutes like that. Maybe we could do that. Hopefully, of course. We need a defensive coach and not a set-piece coach. That's the difference between Sir Ferguson, and he employed a defensive coach for a reason. And we know that what he said, not conceding goals. He said, attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. It does, doesn't it, Irfan? It does, and it's absolutely perfect. Quote, gospel, the quote of the obviously century, in my opinion, in regards to football. Absolutely. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We don't hate players. We are United, and we fans are pinpoint players of bad habits pitch so they can be better. Absolutely, Chichi. Read this one, McDonald's. Scott, read. It's a snowflake opinion. It is. Hating someone is no hate involved. It's constructive criticism, Ian. I respect your opinion. That's your opinion. But hate is a strong word. I don't hate any of those players. I mean, I hate murderers and all these people and stuff like that. I don't hate footballers. No, I mean, I can judge them. I can rate them. That's what I can do. Hate is a different. As Uchichi said, we don't hate players. We are united, and fans should pinpoint players with bad habits. There you go. On the pitch so they can be a better player. We love these players. That's why they're concerned. Absolutely. Ian, if one player comes out of it, if one player scores, even if I don't like that player, I'm celebrating like a madman. I'm celebrating like a madman. All we want is Manchester United to do better on the pitch. And by doing that, we pinpoint what is wrong with those players. You know what I mean? What is going wrong in the tactics? You know what I mean? Why did he make that substitute? Can we fix that? Why doesn't Onana come off his line? That's not hate. That's constructive criticism. Guys, I was in the music industry 20 years, right? 20 years. When my artist, I was a music manager. When my artist didn't do things right, didn't sing that note right, didn't rap that verse right, I would say it. My artist will come round and he would say, Sal, what do you think about this? Play it back. And I'll be listening to it. And I'll be listening to it closely. I say, nah, bro, you need to say that again. You pronounced the word wrong. You pronounced the word wrong. He goes, did I? I go, yeah, listen, you pronounced the word wrong. And that's what I would do. That's constructive criticism, right? My artist, my brother at the time, my brother Reds, who's a very, very successful artist, he would tell me, thank you, Sal, thank you, and go back into the booth and spit another verse, right? Now, that is the same with football. That's the same with football. You know what? You criticize, you say, Dalot, what's going on, bruv? Nothing coming down the right-hand side. You know what I mean? You need to get forward. You need to make those overlapping runs. You know what I mean? We're two to the left. We're all Beyonce in this mother. Do you know what I mean? Because we're to the left at the moment. We need to move on the right a little bit, play some more football on the right, like the Beckham days and the Ronaldo days, of course, guys. Absolutely respect you, Ian, but hate is not involved in this equation whatsoever. There's not a hateful feeling in my bones. Nothing hateful about it. In fact, quite the contrary. I only criticize players when I believe in them. You know what I mean? When you believe in something, you criticize them. It's a bit like Eric Ten Hag did with Sancho, and he ran away to Twitter and started crying. You know what I mean? That is what a snowflake is, because they can't handle criticism, and they see it as hate, and they feel like they're being victimized and stuff like that. I've never had that victim mentality. If I'm putting on weight, if I'm getting fat, right, and I walk past my wife tells me, Sal, you got to lay off the cakes, babe. You got to lay off the cakes. You're getting a little bit chubby. Am I? I want to turn on my wife and say, how dare you say that? How could you say that to me? That's rude. I'll say, thank you. I'll be hitting the gym. I'll be going for a jog in the morning. I'll be doing that. Stuff like that. Of course, guys. That's what I would be doing. Of course. Gloria, United next matches, eyes closed, winner for me. No excuses. We have to win the mentality again now. Let United use the similar teams to keep up points for me. I agree, Chichi. Must win next game. Must win next game. Must win next game, of course. I know he's not being able to protect his 5-yard box. He's not commanding absolutely. Irfan. Ball knowledge, brother. Ball knowledge, brother. Ball knowledge. Right. I was a goalkeeper. When I was younger, I was a goalkeeper. I started out as a goalkeeper. I didn't grow, unfortunately. I didn't get tall enough, unfortunately. So I didn't end up becoming a goalkeeper. I ended up becoming a fullback, left and right, and a centre midfield, right? So at the end of the day, look, you know what? He's not commanding in his box. As a goalkeeper, just like Peter Schmeichel used to be, you have to be intimidating. When that ball comes in, you're pushing people, you're this, you're that, little slide, the dark arts. Do you know what I mean? Slide his tread on in his shin. Tread on his shin slightly. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do something like that. Tread on their feet. You know what I mean? Do little slide dark arts like that. Do things like that that unsettle the corner. You know what I mean? That's what they should do. But I don't like the zonal marking. Absolutely no. What happened to Dalot? Why is he reverting to his own habits? Last season, he was so consistent. It's just, Pranjal, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream. I would say this, right? And I'm going to be very fair on Dalot. He's a young player, okay? But it's no excuse. He's 24. But you know what? I'm going to say this, right? He hasn't performed for a long time. He hasn't. And it has to be picked out. It has to be called upon now that he's not working in the system. He's not working in the system. I don't think he works in the system. I think he's a fullback. That's it. He's not doing enough on the attacking front. He's not. I think, look, let me tell you this, right? He may be doing the attacking side, but he's not doing that bit, going backwards. It's a problem. It's a problem. And Man United need to sort that problem out. Of course, I like Dalot. I like his passion. I like the way he revs up the team. He revs up the players. Of course, I like that about him. I'm sorry if I offended anyone in the room with my statements towards hating players. I just don't like trouble. I run from it. I'm sorry anyone being offended by here. Much more love. No, be your opinion. Gigi, it's your opinion. No one is being hateful here. I haven't seen a hateful word here. I've seen criticism. I have seen criticism. I've seen constructiveness of a criticism. I haven't seen no abuse. I haven't seen bald fraud and peanut head and things like that. I haven't seen anything like that. So you're perfectly entitled to have your opinion about the way the game went. We're going to do this show, right? After this game, this is a match reaction, of course. So we're going to do this show. And then after this show, it's Nottingham Forest. It's Nottingham Forest. And that's the next thing that we're doing. That's the next game that we're concentrating on. It's all about Nottingham Forest. We'll do this show and then we move on to the Forest game. Of course. I'm 50 years. I don't need to have constructive criticism explained to me, but you're being extremely cantankerous. Ian, I didn't hate anyone, Ian. Congratulations on being a fan for 50 years. Then you should know that criticism is part of the game, and people have criticism. That is part of the game. I don't hate any of those players, Ian. Hate is a snowflake word for me. The way where I was raised in the East End of London, right, in a tough area, right. I don't know about hate. All I see is criticism. That's how I see it. At the end of the day, you use the word hate. I use the word snowflake. I'm not a hateful person. That's a snowflake opinion. Hate is a word that people use as a narrative to fit their narrative, right? To say that, don't hate these players. I don't hate these players. I love Man United. Anyone who plays for that badge, I love them. But I'm going to criticize them. Man United are my love. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, Man United, I love Man United. As much as you, as much as people in this chat from all four corners of the globe. I love Man United. And at the end of the day, I want all those players to do well. All of them. They get a new slate, Nottingham Forest. The next game is the next game. The next game is the next game. It's the next game now. That's it. You know what I mean? And at the end, they go up and have a man of the match performance on Sunday. There you go. That's it for me. Absolutely. But big up Ian anyway. Were you both-footed? So yes, I was both-footed. I am both-footed. I can draw with my left hand and I can draw with my right hand, guys. I can draw for you with my left hand if you want. I can draw with my right hand as well. Arteta is employing dark arts of their cut. Yeah, but Irfan, you know what? Arsenal are very good at that. They're very good at dark arts. There's a couple of things they do. They fall down when they get touched. They get free kicks easily. They draw yellow cards. They create problems in the box at corners. And they've been doing that for a while. They did it last season. Remember when Declan Rice scored that goal when we unjustly had that goal from Garnacho disallowed? Do you remember that? And at the end of the day, they done it last season. And that was a foul, guys. We all know that was a foul last season. Remember last season, Declan Rice? Do you remember Declan Rice last season when he scored the goal to win the game? That was a foul. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a corner either. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. This is the thing. You know what? They play that well and they get away with it. What can we do? We have to hold our hands up and say fair play. The dark arts are part of the game. We have to learn that ourselves. We have to be a little bit more naughty. We have to be a little bit more ruthless in the way we're thinking, not so nice on the pitch. We need to think about ways to win at all costs. You know what I mean? Pinching, stepping on people's feet, the little things, you know what I mean? Getting on people's nerves. That's what you do. So even, I hate to say it, guys, swearing at them, saying things that they don't like in their ear, irritating them, things like that. We need to be a little bit more naughty. For us, we just seem a little bit too nice. And that's it. Of course. Corner FC. Big up, Blazing. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. We need to spend big in January. We need to at least bring in a left back, Blazing, if I'm being honest. How you doing, Blazing? It's good to see you back. We do need to bring a left back in, if I'm being totally honest with you. What percentage of corners could have been offended? Could have been offended. What percentage of corners could have been offended? What do you mean, fan? I don't quite. What do you mean, a foul or not a corner, or could have been avoided? I think all corners could be avoided. To be honest, yesterday, especially the Rashford one, that was absolutely awful. Of course. We are the East London massive star. Absolutely, Kazi. No snowflakes in East London, mate. We don't mess about, mate. At the end of the day, I love criticism. I love it because at the end of the day, you can't improve without criticism. You can't. At the end of the day, look, that's why people are getting away with everything these days. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? You know, the way the society's going. You know what I mean? But anyhow, that's another story. That's another conversation. Ian, I've never said you hate on players. I was speaking on a wider spectrum. If I was speaking at your level, fair play, Ian. I agree, mate. Fair play. You're not saying me, but I'm just talking in general about the word hate. In general, not about you, not about anyone. The word hate. It's not you. I'm not calling you a snowflake. I'm not calling anyone else names. I'm saying that hate is a snowflake word. A snowflake word. I respect you, Ian. I respect your opinion. And what the most important thing is right now, guys, is that we had some positives that come out yesterday. And the positives were that we saw the problems. But we knew that this was not going to be an easy fix before the Arsenal game. Many of us said we're not going to win the game. I know that I always say we're going to win the game. I'm incredibly positive, Ian. If you see me, I'm always saying we're going to win the game. If my predictions are right, we probably would have won the last 40 years. We would have won every single game because I've always said we're going to win the game no matter who we play, even though we're guaranteed to lose, which was rare, Man United. But you know what? At the end of the day, look, Ian, big respect to you, and I hope that Man United improve as a whole. Right, and I hope that Man United start getting results and challenging as we should be, of course. Ian, you've been a fan 50 years. You've seen a lot, mate. You've seen a relegation. You know what I mean? You've seen us become a cup team in the 80s. You know, and you've seen Alex Ferguson period. You've seen Alex Ferguson almost getting sacked. You know exactly what I know. You know what I mean? That you know that what is needed to be successful, don't you? You know that as a fan of 50 years, you know what needed to be successful. You know that some players don't fit. You know that some players are not, that shouldn't be able to come. Norman Whiteside, Paul McGrath, Brian Robson left because he was getting to the end. Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, these players, they needed to go, didn't they? You know, and at the end of the day, it's you know, that's just what criticism is for me. But I respect you, Ian. Or every opinion is respected here. Be it or not, sometimes you must learn from your opposition to prove your game. It's true. It's true. Arsenal learned from Man United in the 90s. Let me tell you, when Arsene Wenger took charge of Arsenal, they learned from Man United. They did. Irfan, good morning. Nice comments. Drop in here. Respect. Big up, big up. Big up, big up. Otherwise, I'd say it's out your way. No problem, Ian. Much love to you, brother. You know, nothing but respect, man. Nothing but respect. It's nothing to do with you. I value your opinion because you're 50. You're longer than me in the game, mate. You know what I mean? So you know what? One thing I've done, right? When I started supporting Man United in 1989, right? I learned the history, and I learned about the fans before me, and I was educated about Man United from a fan before me. He's no longer with us, and I was educated about Man United, and I was given these VHS tapes and stuff like that, and I learned about the club, and I value Man United fans, every single one of us, because at the end of the day, look, guys, we're on the same ship. We're on the same ship. At the moment, some people think it's a sinking ship. I don't believe so. I think we're saving the ship, and I think Man United will be up there. The only sinking ship is the sinking ship on that Manchester City's jersey. That is the only sinking ship I know. They're going to be down the divisions very soon. That's the only sinking ship I know. For me, we're about to embark on a very important period in our history because I feel like Manchester United will turn the corner. I think Manchester United will get it right. And when we do get it right, all this upset, pain, disappointment, anxiety, stress, it will make it feel even better when we go forward and absolutely smash it. I hope so. Big up Fanatic 8. Good morning, all. Good morning, Fanatic 8. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Sal. You are and big dexterous. And big dexterous. And big dexterous. Bloody hell, that's a long word, Chichi. And big dexterous. Goodness me. You know what? I'm an Englishman, and you've come out with that one. That is a proper I know that it means something about right and left. Yeah, I can use right and left quite well. Yeah, quite well. Not as well on my left. Not as well as my left, but I can on my right. I can on my right. I'm best on my right, but on my left I can play left. Yeah, and I mean, all footballers. I will look after a youth football team over here in the UAE. Partly the reason I'm here, I'm looking after a football team over here. So I teach these players to kick on their right and their left. I'm majority of the time I'm teaching them to kick on the left because a lot of them are not left-footed. We need left-footed players, and we need to teach them how to kick on their left-hand side, of course. So I teach them, and it's very good to be two-footed, especially if you want to become you have more chance of becoming a professional footballer if you're two-footed, and you can head the ball. Big up, Irfan. We need big game players who can score. We don't have them. Can't remember the last time we beat a top six club in the league. Yeah, this has got to change of blazing. I'm tired of losing to our rivals. I'm tired of losing to Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man City. I'm tired of it, mate. You, me, they're both the same. I'm tired of it. We need to start winning these games. We're getting embarrassed at the moment. But we got a new system now. We got a new system. We got a new manager. We got a new, completely new environment at Man United. And it is going to take time. I know it's easy to say, that we're going to feel pain before we get long-term gain. I know it's easy to say that when we're losing, but when we're losing, it's hard to say that. It's hard because you feel it at that moment. But one thing I urge is people, we carry on believing in this. We believe in it at Ruben Amram's army. Ruben Amram is the right guy. He's the one who's going to take us forward. We're going to lose games, guys. I tell you what, we're going to lose games. Right, and not least this next couple of months, we got Man City away, Tottenham away, Arsenal away again, Liverpool away in the next couple of months coming up, in the next month coming up, in fact. So, you know what, we're going to lose games. But one thing I urge everyone here, don't overreact. Say your piece, give your opinion, but let's not turn on the manager because this is a big job, a massive job, a huge job, of course. And you know what, it's not going to be an easy fix. Latest on the Whitechapel, massive. Big up, Kazi. Absolutely. Be there soon, hopefully. Good day, Sal. Good day, Trizzy. How you doing, my friend? So we need to start settling on the 11 he can trust. Absolutely. When do you think this will happen? We don't have two squads that compete. I'd like to see a settled squad soon. Me too, Trizzy. We don't have it. And this is the thing. When you change managers, you have a backlog of players from the previous managers. We actually have a backlog of players from 10 years ago, unfortunately. But you know what? What I would say is that I'm giving Ruben Amram until January. January, we're going to make our conclusion, our analysis of where we are. By then, hopefully, he'll know he's settled 11. I actually know I think I know what his settled 11 is. I really do. I think I know. I'm going with this, guys. Right. This is what I think the 11 should be, right? Okay. Right now, I think it is De Ligt, Licha, and De Ligt, Licha, and goodness me, I'm losing my bloody memory in this environment, guys. I'm losing my memory, absolutely losing my memory. De Ligt, Licha, and Euro for me. That is the centre back partnership for me. De Ligt, Licha, and Euro. Okay. In regards to right back for me, Ahmad. In regards to left wing back, it would be Mazraoui. In regards to midfield, Mainu and Ugarte. It's the attack we're worried about, isn't it? He's going to play Bruno. He's going to play Bruno, and I think Garnacho or Mount. One of them two. It's a tough one. I'm not quite there yet. Absolutely. Absolute fan. I know I've got respect for Ian all day long. He's been there for a while. I know Ian. He has good football opinion. Of course. Uchechi, big up. United should better team for after last night. As games go on, we're going to improve. We're going to see a massive improvement as games go on. A massive improvement. 93.3 likes, hit that like button. The name you never goes. Thank you so much, Irfan, you legend. Absolutely. Thank you, mate. Believe it or not, most times as a player, you must learn from your previous game's mistake to improve yourself, or learn the opposition, how to improve your game, be it coach or player. Irfan, lovely comment, spot on. You learn from your mistakes. And when you look at Anana, I think Onana's improved and learned from his mistakes. I think he's learned from some mistakes. I still think he needs to improve in some things. There's a few players in that team are learning still. We got to remember that these are young lads as well. A lot of these players are young, you know, so we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, young players are notoriously inconsistent, and we have to remember that. It has been like that over the last many, many years, of course, even in the class of 92. I have to go, Sal. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your day, Irfan. Have a great day, my friend. You legend, absolute legend, Irfan. Top ball knowledge, as usual. Big up, Irfan, of course. The front line weren't on it yesterday. We played decent overall. I mean, in the first half for Activate, I'll say, yeah, decent. I'll say decent, definitely. Was my guy even in the first 11? No. Yesterday he was. Not in my all-time, not in my personal 11, of course, guys. Definitely not. I don't think he would be in my starting 11, if I'm being totally honest, guys, about that. But look, guys, we move on. Nottingham Forest is the game next. And of course, guys, and let me just give you a little bit of transfer news. Manchester United have highlighted Son Min-hyun. Tottenham Hotspur's winger, of course. Tottenham Hotspur's attacking player. Man United are interested in making a deal for the player, who is said to be interested in leaving Spurs this summer. And Manchester United are deemed to be a perfect destination for him. Now, what I'll make about Son Min-hyun is that he's a little bit getting on a little bit. He's getting on the other side. Do you know what I mean? What I would say, would I be happy with Son Min-hyun? Yes, I would be happy because he's a great player. At the end of the day, I feel like he spent too much time at Tottenham, though. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but he has spent too much time at Tottenham. Son Min-hyun is on Manchester United's radar to sign, of course, guys. So another player on that little list, well, a big list, isn't it? It's a huge list of players that Manchester United are interested in. That is way out there. Personally, I don't think that we will get that player. He's too old. He's played for Tottenham a long time. Man United are looking for the next best thing, of course. Irfan, having said that, learning from mistakes seems Rashford is not learning. That's the problem, Irfan. There does become, some people, you can't teach old dog new tricks, as they say. You know what I mean? You can't teach a near 30-year-old to become prime Ronaldinho. They're not going to improve much, are they? When you're young, you're like a sponge. When you're young, you're like a sponge, and all the knowledge gets into your head and stuff like that, of course. Take it easy, Irfan. Have a good day, bro. Son is getting old, though. No, he's not. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Blazing. But he obviously, media reporting that Son Min-hyun is interested in Man United. Interesting, Man United. Mitoma would be interesting. He would be interesting. Hasn't really set the world alight this season. Had a great season last season, of course. A bit like Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson for Brighton hasn't really played well this season, but last season played well. Would you still do the deal for Evan Ferguson on loan in January? Apparently, he's on loan in January. Would you do a deal? I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, I think we need a left back more than anything. I think we need a left back, maybe another defender, of course. Yeah, Matoma would be a decent signing. Matoma, Son Min-hyun is the one, but I mean, obviously, we're interested in nothing in the way of Matoma. Although I rate Matoma, very good player. Obviously, attacking wise. Big up, South. I'm another fan of 50 years. Love your views and attitude. Don't ever bow down to snowflakes. Big up, JCF. Absolutely no problem at all. Big up, Ian. Big up, JCF. All of you guys, I respect all your opinions. You're absolute legends. Absolute legends. And let me tell you something about life. You know, especially in football, you can always learn something from someone. You can always learn, as long as they're a proper Man United fan, a proper one, you can always learn something from someone. That is one thing I would say. You learn something from someone at the end of the day. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a fabulous show, of course. As usual, I'm back at 2 p.m. UK time for Chatterbox. Of course, guys, don't forget to join me for that. It should be a great show again. You know, we're leading up now to the Nottingham Forest game. A game that we got no excuses now, nowhere to hide. Man United must win that game. Must win that game. It is a must win for Man United, guys. Nottingham Forest is a game we should win, and that's exactly what it is, of course. Big up Fanactivate, Ferguson. No for me. Get the left side covered. I agree. Fanactivate, spot on. Big up, big up. Have a great day. You too, Fanactivate. Have a great day, Blazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Absolutely. No, at the end of the day, mate, you know what? Win on Sunday. We forget this game. It's done. It's done. We forget it. We move on. It's the next game. It's Ruben Amorim's army. We move forward. In one way, part of me feels like this is a great thing that's happened because you know what? Ruben Amorim wasn't going to come in this season. He was going to come in next season, right? At least now this season, he's going to see the problems in the squad and he can fix it by the start of next season, hopefully. You know, So by the start of next season, we should be more prepared to make a challenge. I believe so. This season, we're trying to straighten out the creases. We're trying to work out who's good, who's bad, who's out, who's not. You know what I mean? And that's how we're doing at the moment. We're going to have bicky little disagreements. We're going to have this as the time goes on, as we go on all the way to the end of the season. We're going to lose games. We're going to have disagreements. We're going to have arguments. But one thing is, don't fall off the conveyor belt. It's all love, and everyone is entitled to their opinion in regards to that. We're all Man United fans around the world. That is how we are. Of course, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I'll see you later on, 2 p.m. UK time for Chatterbox. Don't forget to join me. It's a big show. Have a good one. Take it easy and look after yourself. Peace.